Hello everybody and welcome to day 6 of my birthday marathon. Now about a month ago I put up a poll on my YouTube community page and on Facebook asking what sort of videos I should do for my birthday. I asked whether you wanted to see my favourite songs from any genre, favourite bands from any genre, and a couple of others. And overwhelmingly the result came back favourite songs of any genre. And I was quite happy about this. Because when I first started out this channel, I initially wanted to look at as many different genres of music as I possibly could. I wanted to cover everything if I could. But I've mostly ended up just looking at metal songs. And I'm not mad at that. I've discovered some new bands through doing what I do. And I've found some bands that I absolutely love and adore. On occasion I have looked at some other artists. I've looked at some rap, I've looked at some folk, I've looked at a country song as well. And I initially wanted to be more expansive in my coverage of what genres I was going to look at. So when it came up saying favourite songs of any genre, I was quite happy about this. And over the past 5 days I've covered quite some unusual, well, I won't say unusual, some different genres that people might not have expected from me for my favourite songs. We've looked at Rosa Walton doing I Really Want to Stay at Your House from Cyberpunk 2077. We've looked at Richard Marx, we've looked at Ralph McTell. We've looked at some rather interesting tracks, and we've looked at some metal as well. And what I've been trying to do is 2 songs a day where I'll look at one metal song and one song from a different genre. And today the track we're going to look at is actually a track that I initially wanted to do when I first started this channel way back about 6 years ago. When I first started doing this, I'd written down a list of songs I wanted to look at. But when I initially started doing this, I got so many requests from people that I never actually got round to doing the tracks that I'd laid out, because I wasn't expecting to get that many requests that early on. Although saying that now, the requests I get for videos are not nearly as many. Very few and far between, in fact. Now, the track I'm talking about in specific, you've probably seen the title of the video, is Like Toy Soldiers by Eminem. And this is one of my favourite tracks by Eminem. I do like Eminem's music. I have a lot of his music, even a lot of the stuff from before he was famous. And I like this track because of the subject matter it talks about. Because all too often, I've mentioned this before, heavy metal gets sort of pegged as a violent, aggressive style of music that is associated with death, murder, sacrifice, that sort of thing. And it's normally said, this sort of thing is normally said by people who listen to pop, hip-hop and chart music. Whereas in reality, hip-hop has a much more violent subculture attached to it than metal does. And this is the subject that Eminem covers in this track. And he covers it perfectly. The video for the track itself is very powerful, and the actual lyrics to the song itself are very powerful. And that's one of the things I like about Eminem. A lot of his songs do have a deeper meaning behind it. There's a lot of rap artists out there who sing about smoking weed and popping caps in asses and this, that and the other, and there's all these diss tracks and shit floating about. You get all this sort of thing. And I mean, diss tracks isn't really something you find in any other genre of music. I mean, they do exist, but they're very few and far between. But in hip-hop specifically, they're very, very prevalent. There's always a beef going on between one rapper and some other, east side, west side, what have you. So, and the fact that he talks about this and the way he talks about it, and, he talks about it in a very logical, very specific way, and I really like that. And when I first heard this song, however long ago it was, I think it was 2004, you know, this song immediately grabbed my attention. You know, we heard all these ones from him, like My Name Is, and, you know, The Real Slim Shady, and the songs like Kim, which sort of head more towards the sort of almost stereotypical side of hip-hop, where it's, you know, about violence and that sort of thing. But again, all of his songs sort of, well, not all of his songs, a majority of his songs had some meaning to him, you know, mostly reflecting off his real life. They might have been slightly exaggerated for entertainment purposes, but either way, you know, they had some sort of meaning behind them. But this one hits specifically hard because of the subject it's talking about. So, like I said, you know, when I first started this channel 6 years ago, this was on my shortlist to do, but I never got around to it. So, being that I was after my favourite songs of any genre this week, it seemed a perfect opportunity to cover this track. So that's what we're going to do. Now, before we jump into it, if you could take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel, it would really, really help me out. It would make the hugest difference to me, because, you know, like I said, I've been doing this for 6 years, and as it stands, not even 2% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed. You know, it would really help the channel out. It doesn't cost you anything. It takes a fraction of a second. But on that point, let's jump into this video, and well, I won't say let's see what we've got, because I know what we've got. Let's just have a look at the song. So, Like Toy Soldiers by Eminem. Let's go.
I'm bored. Let's do something else.
I got this book. My dad gave it to me.
To be the soldier who never blows his composure, even though I hold the weight of the whole world on my shoulders. I ain't never supposed to show it, my crew ain't supposed to know it, even if it means going toe to toe with the Benzino. It don't matter, I never drag them in battles that I can handle unless I absolutely have to. I'm supposed to set an example, I need to be the leader. My crew looks for me to guide them. If something never does pop off, I'm supposed to be beside him. That job it, I tried to squash it, it was too late to stop it. There's a certain line you just don't cross, and he crossed it. I heard him say Haley's name on the song and I just lost it. It was crazy, this went way beyond some Jay-Z and Nas. And even though the battle was won, I feel like we lost it. I spent so much energy on it, honestly I'm exhausted, and I'm so caught in it, I almost feel I'm the one who caused it. This ain't what I'm in hip-hop for, it's not why I gotten it. That was never my object, for someone to get killed. Why would I want to destroy something I helped build? That wasn't my intentions were good. I went through my whole career without ever mentioning it, and that was just out of respect for not running my mouth and talking about something that I knew nothing about. Plus Dre told me stay out, this just wasn't my beef, so I did. I just fell back, watched and gritted my teeth while he's all over TV, down talking to a man who literally saved my life. Like, it, I understand this is business, and this here just isn't none of my business, but still knowing that it could pop off at any minute. To be a time when you could just say a rhyme and wouldn't have to worry about one of your people dying. But now it's elevated, cause once you put someone's kids in it, it just gets escalated. It ain't just words no more, is it? It's a different ballgame. You call names and you ain't just rapping. We actually tried to stop the 50 and John B from happening. Me and Dre had sat with him, kicked it and had a chat with him, and asked him not to start it. He wasn't gonna go after him until John started gapping in magazines how we stabbed him. And 50 smash him, mash on him, let him have it. Meanwhile, my attention's pulled in another direction. Some receptionist at the source who answers phones at his desk has an obsession for me and thinks that I'll be his resurrection. Tries to blow the dust off his mic and make a new record, but now he's the game up, cause one of the ways I came up was through that publication, the same one that made me famous. Now the owner of it has got a grudge against me for nothing. If that other sucker could get it too. from you. But I'm so busy being pissed off, I don't stop to think that we just inherited 50's beef with Murder Inc. And he's inherited mine, which is fine. Ain't like either of us mine. We still have soldiers that's on the front line, that's willing to die for us as soon as we give the orders. Never to extort us, strictly to show they support us. Or maybe shout them out in the rapper up in the chorus to show them we love them back and let them know how important it is to have Runyon Avenue soldiers up in our corners. The loyalty to us is worth more than any award is. But I ain't trying to have none of my people hurt or murdered. It ain't worth it, I can't think of a perfect way to word it than to just say that I love y'all too much to see the verdict. I'll walk away from it all before I let it go any further. But don't get it twisted, it's not a plea that I'm copping. I'm just willing to be the bigger man if y'all can quit popping off at your jaws, well then I can. Cause frankly I'm sick of talking, I'm not gonna let someone else's coffin rest on my conscience.
There we go. Like Toy Soldiers by Eminem. And I mean, it's such a powerful song. And this is another thing, you know, like I said earlier, you know, heavy metal often gets seen as violent, aggressive, you know, encouraging violence sort of thing. The same sort of thing does get pushed over to hip hop as well. And this is sort of what he's saying in this song. It's like, he got into hip-hop because he loved the music. You know, he loved the culture that was around it. But over the years, violence has sort of crept in, and that's not what he wanted. He wasn't interested in that element of the hip-hop world. All he wanted to do was go out, spit some bars, whatever. You know, he wanted to go out, do some rhymes, do some raps, you know, just enjoy himself for the love of the music. But now this whole culture of in-gang fighting, these gang war sort of things, it's sort of tainted the thing that he loves, you know, deep within his heart. You know, it's sort of spoiled the very thing that was to him most pure. And he's like, you know, I got into hip-hop, you know, and then all this beef between rappers and like gangs and stuff sort of started up, and it's like, I'm standing here watching my friends get mown down in drive-by shootings over something someone said in a song. And, you know, once you start bringing someone else's personal life into the song, you've crossed a line. You know, there's no need for it. You know, what is the point? We're all in this business for the same reason. We all love music. We all love creating music. So why do you all have to start getting angry and violent at each other? You know, just make music rather than just bitching at each other. Make music that you enjoy rather than just digging at each other and causing problems. And that's what I really love about this song, you know, because there is a deep felt meaning behind it. I mean, even at the end of the video there, it shows like a sort of painted mural of 4 well-known rappers who were gunned down in drive-bys by inter-gang fighting, you know. And even throughout the song, he drops the names of several artists who have had arguments with each other and how they tried to resolve it, how they tried to step back from it, and how, you know, even though they were trying to be the bigger person by stepping away from it and being like, you know, I don't want to be involved, that person that was causing the beef then went even further and pushed it too far. And, you know, they had to either sit there and just deal with it or just come back and say, look, dude, you've gone too far. And he's saying, you know, it was never my intention for any bad shit to happen to anybody. I just wanted to make music. And I mean, one of the things that I think really helps this song is that chorus, the step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down, which was taken from a song by Martika, and the song called Toy Soldiers from 1988, I think it was. You know, and that's quite a powerful song on its own as well. You know, Martika's original song is actually quite a powerful song. But when it's added into this context, it really adds, you know, impact to Eminem's track, you know, because there's the voices of, like, the children, the sort of emotional weight that it adds to the song. You know, it adds more impact, I think. Because the song opens up, step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down. Then it goes left, right, step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down like tall toy soldiers. Bit by bit, torn apart, we never win, but the battle wages on for toy soldiers. So, you know, saying, you know, we go through the motions of conflict, but the more we involve ourselves, the more it perpetuates. You know, so it's like evil begets evil. The more you sort of give into it, the more it carries on. You know, we never win. The battle rages on. You know, we're never going to find peace if we carry on fighting like this. And there's a lot of lyrics here, obviously, because Eminem is incredible at writing lyrics. How he manages to do it, I don't know. So there is a lot of them. And chances are I'm going to trip over my own tongue, because every time I try and read lyrics from rap, I always trip over. So it opens up, I'm supposed to be the soldier who never blows his composure, even though I've got the whole weight on my shoulders. I ain't ever supposed to show it. My crew ain't supposed to know it, even if it means going to toe with the Benzino. I'm not sure what that means. It doesn't matter. I never drag him into battles that I can't handle unless I absolutely have to. I'm supposed to set an example. So I'm supposed to be the soldier that never blows his composure. So he's almost seen like a leader in a way, because he does have his own sort of group, if you will, which is D12. You know, he's sort of seen as the forefront of that, so everybody sort of looks to him for like, you know, what to do. You know, he's got the whole weight of the world on his shoulders, so he's holding a lot of responsibility for this group of people. And he's saying, I'm never supposed to show it, my crew isn't supposed to know it, so I'm not supposed to show when something hurts me, I'm not supposed to show when something's angry. I'm supposed to set an example for these people, for them to follow, so that they don't, like, blow off the deep end and go and do something stupid. You know, I never drag them into battles that I can't handle unless I absolutely have to. I'm supposed to set an example. So, like, he'll always try and set his own arguments, his own battles by himself, if he can. He doesn't want to drag other people into it and risk them getting hurt, you know, unless he absolutely has to. You know, he's trying to set an example of being the sort of level-headed, you know, person who's, like, you know, trying to keep out of all of this sort of thing. I need to be the leader. My crew looks for me to guide them. If some shit ever does pop off, I'm supposed to be beside them. That jar shit, I tried to quash it. It was too late to stop it. There's a certain line you don't cross, and he crossed it. I heard him say Haley's name in a song, and I just lost it. It was crazy. The shit went way beyond some Jay-Z and Nas shit. Even though the battle was won, I feel like we lost it. So again, he's saying, you know, I'm supposed to be the leader. You know, my group looks to me for, you know, to set an example. You know, if something does happen, you know, I'm supposed to be there by their side to support them, to help them through it, sort of thing. That jar shit, I can only assume that's Ja Rule, possibly. I don't know. I'm not well versed on rappers. You know, that jar shit, we tried to quash it. It was too late to stop it. So, you know, this jar, I'm guessing Ja Rule, said or did something that caused this big sort of conflict. And he said, you know, he crossed a certain line, and you just don't cross, and he crossed it. He said Haley's name in a song, Haley being Eminem's daughter. You know, so Ja, or whoever it was, you know, brought his daughter into this. And Eminem's like, no, you can say whatever shit you want about me, but you leave my kid out of this. You know, you've gone too far. And he said it went beyond some Jay-Z and Nas shit. I'm not sure what went on there either, but, you know, it went way beyond something which was apparently quite high profile. And he says, even though we won the battle, I feel like we lost it. So, yes, we came out on top. We managed to put an end to that shit. But I still feel like we didn't win because I had to resort to means that are less than favourable. I didn't enjoy doing what I had to do to stop this. I spent so much energy on it, I'm exhausted, and I'm so caught in it, I almost feel like I'm the one who caused it. This isn't what I'm in hip-hop for. That's not why I got in it. That was never my object to get someone killed. Why would I want to destroy something I helped build? It wasn't my intentions. My intentions were good. I went through my whole career without mentioning, and then it blanks out the name. I'm not sure who they're talking about there. But he's saying, I put so much time and effort into trying to resolve this problem. I got so caught up in it that it almost feels like it was my fault in the first place, even though I know it wasn't. It kind of feels like it was. What is it that made this man go after me in the first place? Was it something I did? This isn't what I got into hip hop for. That's not why I got in it. He got into hip hop because he loved the music. He loved rapping. He loved the freedom it gave him. He loved the freedom of expression it gave him. That's all he was interested in. He wasn't interested in the fighting, the gang wars. He didn't want any part of that. But he's sort of been dragged into it against his will. It was never my object. It was never my object for someone to get killed. Why would I want to destroy something I helped build? What? I don't want people to get hurt. I just want to rap. I want to spit some bars. I want to lay down some rhymes, whatever the parlance might be. That's all I wanted to do. I don't want people to view this culture in a sort of really bad and evil way, and that's what you're doing by behaving like this. I don't want to destroy it. This is what I enjoy. This is what I love. So I just want to listen to some rap. That's it. Just leave it at that. It's music. It shouldn't be anything more than that. It wasn't my intention. My intentions were good. He went through his whole career without mentioning whoever. So, he specifically avoided talking about this person because he didn't want to start shit. And that was just out of respect for not running my mouth and talking about something I knew nothing about. Plus, Dre told me to stay out. This just wasn't my beef, so I did. I just fell back and watched and gritted my teeth. While he's all over TV talking down a man who literally saved my life. Like, fuck it, I understand. This is business, and this shit just isn't none of my business. But still, knowing this shit could pop off any minute. So it's like, out of he just sort of sat back and said, look, I don't know enough about this to get involved. I don't want to be involved. It's not my fight. It's not my business. But this guy is slagging off some other guy who literally saved my life. He saved one of my, he's slagging off one of my best friends who, if it wasn't for that person, I would not be here. So he's having to grit his teeth and listen to someone slagging off someone that he really cares about. But he doesn't want to get in the middle of it because he doesn't know enough about what's happened. But he knows that any minute this whole thing could pop off and something really bad could happen. And goes back into that cross, step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down like toy soldiers. Bit by bit, torn apart, we never win. The battle rages on for toy soldiers. And he goes, there used to be a time when you could just say a rhyme and you wouldn't have to worry about one of your people dying. But now it's elevated because once you put someone's kid in it, this shit gets escalated. It ain't just words no more, is it? It's a different ball game. You calling names. You ain't just rapping. We actually tried to stop the 50 and jar beef happening. Me and Dre had sat with him, kicked it, and had a chat with him, and asked him not to start it. He wasn't going to go after him. So he's, that line there. There used to be a time when you could say a rhyme and you wouldn't have to worry about one of your people dying. You used to be able to just rap. You used to be able to just write music, sing music, whatever, and you wouldn't have to worry about it starting some almighty conflict that would inspire somebody to go out and put bullets in someone. You used to be able to just rap. Back in the 80s, there was loads of rap artists all over TV, and it was clean, innocent fun. But now you so much as say the slightest thing wrong and it will start a whole sort of gang war. And he's like, I want those old days back where you could just sing a song and that would be that. It was just music. And he's saying now it's elevated because once you put someone's kid in it, that shit gets escalated because it's not just words anymore. It's like you've directly, like, threatened my family, you've directly threatened my kid, or something along those lines. It's like, you've gone a step too far. You know, this isn't just singing a song anymore. You've made this personal. You've purposefully gone out of your way to try and bait me. You know, you calling names isn't just rapping. You know, it's you're purposefully trying to cause something. He said, we tried to stop the 50 and Jar beef from happening, so obviously 50 Cent, and I'm thinking it's Ja Rule. I could be mistaken, you know. So Eminem and Dre sat down with 50 Cent and said, look, just don't get in, you know, just sit back, just take it on the chin, try to ignore it, you know. And it said, and 50 was like, you know what, I'm not going to go after him, you're right, I'm just going to stay out of it. But then it carries on, until Jar started yapping in magazines about how he stabbed him. Fuck it, 50, smash him, mash on him, let him have it. Meanwhile, my attention pulled in another direction. Some receptionist at the Source, who answers phones at his desk, has an erection for me and thinks I'll be his resurrection. Tries to blow the dust off his mic and make a new record. So eventually Jar sort of got so personal against 50 Cent that, you know, it got too much, and you couldn't just sort of sit back and ignore it anymore. And then he goes, meanwhile, somebody at this magazine, The Source, who's just a desk jockey, thinks, hold on, there's Eminem, I want to have a poke at him. So he tries to make a diss track against Eminem. Alexa, stop. You know, so he tries to make a diss track against Eminem. But now he's fucked the game up, because one of the ways I came up was through that publication, the same one that made me famous. Now the owner of it has got a grudge against me for nothing. Well, fuck it, that motherfucker could get it too. Fuck him then. But I'm too busy being pissed off. I don't stop to think that we've just inherited 50's beef with Murder Inc. And he's inherited mine, which is fine. Ain't like either of us mind. We still have soldiers that's on the front line. So he's saying, you know, this magazine, The Source, was the magazine that made him famous. This was, you know, the magazine that sort of introduced him to the world. But now, because of this desk jockey causing beef, the owner of the publication has now got beef with Eminem, you know, so it's sort of perpetuating and it's, you know, expanding. He's got a grudge against him for absolutely no reason, because Eminem's done nothing to, like, draw this ire from them. And he's like, you know what, if you're going to be like that, fuck it, you carry on, not interested. But this in turn has brought on the ire of Murder Inc., who I'm guessing Jar was part of. And, you know, so 50 Cent sort of brought that in, you know, and it's all sort of come together, and it's sort of gotten bigger and it's gotten worse. And, yeah, he says, you know, we still have soldiers that's on the front line, willing to die for us as soon as we give the orders, never to extort us, strictly to show they support us, and maybe shout them out in a rap or up in a chorus, to show them we love them back and let them know how important it is to have Runyon Avenue soldiers up in our corners. Runyon Avenue, I'm guessing that's some sort of place of hip-hop importance, I don't know. Their loyalty to us is worth more than any award is. So, like you're saying, you know, we still have all these people behind us to support us, who are willing to sort of, you know, step up and, you know, stand up for us and sort of fight back for us if necessary. And, you know, we'll shout them out in one of our songs if necessary. You know, we'll show them that we care about them, that we love them, that they're friends, and we've got their back if they've got our sort of thing. And, you know, their loyalty is worth more than any award is, you know, and knowing that I have these people behind me, knowing that I have the support of these people, is more important than anything else in the world. But then he goes, but I ain't trying to have none of my people hurt or murdered. It ain't worth it. I can't think of a perfecter way to word it than to just say that I love y'all too much to see the verdict. I'll walk away from it all, for I let it go any further. But don't get in twisted. It's not a plea I'm copying. I'm just willing to be the bigger man. If y'all can quit popping. If y'all can quit popping off at the jaws, well, then I can, because frankly I'm sick of talking. I'm not going to let someone else's coffin rest on my conscience. So it's like, you know, I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want any of your people to get hurt. I don't want any of my people to get hurt. You know, I can't think of any other way to say it. You know, I don't want this infighting. I don't want these gang wars or anything like that. I just want to rap. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't want to have arguments. I don't have to have fights. I don't want, you know, to have this culture of diss tracks, hatred, drive-bys and all that sort of shit. I just want to rap, you know. And he's like, I love you all too much to want to have to sit here and watch people get hurt, you know. And he says that I'll walk away before I let it go any further. It's like, if this carries on, I'm just going to have to walk away because I don't want to get involved in this anymore. I don't want to be part of it. You know, I don't want to be involved in somebody losing their life, whether it's one of my people or one of yours. I'm not interested. And if this carries on, I'm going to have to just walk away because, you know. And he's saying, don't get this twisted. It's not a plea I'm copying this. So he's like saying, I'm not ducking out because I'm a coward or anything like that. I'm just sick of this shit happening. I don't want any part of it anymore. You know, I'm willing to be the bigger man. I'm willing to sort of walk away and say, look, I'm done with this shit. You know, I'm willing to be the bigger man. And if you can just stop spitting hatred and insults at each other, you know, that'd be great. Just stop, you know, because I'm sick of all this arguing, I'm sick of all this fighting. You know, I don't want to be sitting there for the rest of my life thinking that one of my friends or somebody else got shot in a drive-by or whatever because of some petty argument. You know, I don't want someone else's death on my conscience. But the way things are going is going to happen, and I don't want any part of it. You know, I just want to make music. And then it goes back into that step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left. We all fall down like toy soldiers, bit by bit, torn apart. We never win, but the battle wages on for toy soldiers. So, you know, it's a powerful song and it's a powerful video, and it perfectly illustrates what he's talking about. Because unfortunately, the hip hop culture has got this reputation for being so violent. You know, all drive-by shit. I mean, years and years ago, it was almost everywhere. Because I think it was Left Eye. Is it Lisa Left Eye Lopez or something like that? From, I think it's TLC. You know, she got killed in a drive-by as an innocent bystander, if I remember correctly. Because they were aiming for, like, somebody else that was in the car, perhaps a boyfriend or something like that. I seem to recall that she was an innocent bystander, and she got killed in a drive-by because of shit like this. You know, because of diss tracks, because of gang fighting and turf wars within the hip-hop and rap world. And he's like, this doesn't need to happen. We just want to make music. If you just stop slagging each other off and go back to how we used to make music, rapping about things that were important to us rather than just trying to bitch at each other, you know, we could all be happy, we could all live and not have to worry about stepping out of our front door and getting shot. You know, he's like, this isn't why I got into hip-hop. I wanted to make music. I didn't want to be going to war every single day. I didn't want to have to worry about stepping out of my front door. I didn't want to have to worry about my friends getting shot just because of something someone said in a song. You know, just stop. Let's go back to the way rap used to be, where you used to be able to just sit and jam, you know, spit a couple of bars, what have you. I just want to live a happy life where I can make music. And, you know, I think it's such a powerful song and such a powerful video. And yeah, I mean, it's one of my absolute favourite Eminem tracks. And like I say, I do own a lot of his music. Like I say, even some stuff from before he got famous, from before the Marshall Mathers EP. But this song always stands out, and it's one that I always have to turn up when I listen to it because it's such a strong and powerful song with such a strong and powerful message. But unfortunately, you know, it doesn't seem to have had the impact because this shit still goes on. You know, because for some reason the Machine Gun Kelly seems to like trying to take a pop at Eminem every couple of months. You know, Lord knows why. Because I mean, Machine Gun Kelly is just awful. You know, can barely even call him a musician. But you know, because Eminem is such a prominent figure, because he became so big and so famous, everybody's like, I want to take a pop at him. If I take him down, I'm going to be seen as the big guy now. You know, it's all a battle for supremacy. They want to be seen as the big dog, you know, and if they can take down the big dog, then they'll become the big dog. You know, it's pathetic. You know, like I said, you don't really see this in any other kind of music. You know, I'm not going to say it never happens, because, you know, it does happen. I mean, look at Euronymous Burzum sort of thing. You know, look at that. You know, there is obviously violence in other musical genres as well, but not to this extent. And this is one thing that always confused me, because heavy metal is always viewed as the violent one, the violent culture, the one that sort of inspires kids to violence, the sort of thing that inspires people to go out and murder and stuff like that. But it really doesn't. You know, heavy metal for years and years and years was blamed for violence on the streets, was blamed for school shootings in America. You know, heavy metal was made the brunt of, you know, was made the scapegoat for that sort of thing. But really, when you look at it, heavy metal has absolutely nothing to do with any of it. Hip-hop culture. I mean, you look at... I can't even remember what it was now. No, it's gone. I mean, if you watch the Eminem film, 8 Mile, you know, that sort of highlights the whole thing as well, you know, because initially it was just them sort of doing their own, you know, being together in a little gang, rapping in garages and out on street corners. And then this other gang comes by and just starts beef with them because of reasons. You know, and what is the point in it? You know, why do you have to be so aggressive against each other? I mean, you're both doing the same thing. You both just want to make music. I mean, I get the rap battles thing, you know, that's I'm assuming that started off as a sort of playful thing. But now it's just taken so serious and it leads to violence. And it really needs to stop. And this is exactly what Eminem's saying with this song. You know, it just needs to stop. Just go back to making music. But yeah, I got really impassioned on that one, didn't I? But like I said, I really like this track. Like I said, when I first started this channel, I wanted to cover this track, but I never got around to it, because back then I was actually getting people suggesting tracks to me. So yeah, I've always liked this track. I think it's a great piece of music. But I'm going to leave it at that, otherwise I'll just carry on and on and on. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like or a subscribe if you haven't already, because it really, really would help me out. You know, it would make the biggest difference to this channel, because as it stands, you know, I've been doing this for 6 years, and not even 2% of the people watching my videos are actually subscribed. And that's kind of disheartening, because, you know, I've been doing it for a long time, and I like to think I do something different than most other reactors. And, you know, I kind of hope that would be something people wanted to see, you know, actually talking about the song, talking about what the song means, talking about the artist, rather than just listening to the song going, it's alright, like most reactors do. You know, people don't investigate or delve deep into the meanings of songs, and I thought that was something that needed investigating, because a lot of people don't actually understand, or not that they don't understand, they don't take the time to figure out what the song is about, they just listen to it. But I like to understand the song. I like to know what the song is about. And, you know, I thought that's something other people might have been interested in, and I wanted to share that with people. But, yeah, as it is, you know, I'm uploading these videos and people aren't liking and subscribing. They're not watching the videos. And as a result, my videos are just sort of disappearing off into the netherworld and not getting recommended to people. So, you know, if you could like and subscribe, it really would make a big difference to me and to the channel. You know, it doesn't cost you anything, and it takes a fraction of a second. But anyway, that's all I've got for you for this video. Thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
There used to be a time when you could just say a rhyme and wouldn't have to worry about one of your people dying. But now it's elevated, cause once you put someone's kids in it, it just gets escalated. It ain't just words no more, is it? It's a different ballgame. You call names and you ain't just rapping. We actually tried to stop the 50 and Job from happening. Me and Dre had sat with him, kicked it and had